Welcome to my winter holiday piecewise function activity. I think this is going to be a really great practice for you guys for piecewise functions, and obviously the winter theme is just fun. There is actually no specific holiday mention in here, but students can obviously add in holiday things, or you can if you'd like to customize a little bit. So let's just kind of walk through what the student's going to see. First thing is going to be kind of a warm-up where they can figure out how domain restrictions work in Desmos. So you have to use curly brackets and then an inequality inside there. So the first one is completely done for students just to show them how it works, just in case they've not done this on Desmos before. So they're going to just continue clicking this, like the circles next to these equations, and it will pop up the entire equation. And then all they have to do is then use domain restrictions to match the blue snowflake picture. So the first one is just kind of get a quick win, get their feet wet, and make sure that they know how the domain and range restrictions work in Desmos. And then on the circles, they'll actually have to use two restrictions, an X and a Y. So they'll need two sets of curly brackets. Okay, so then the next slide is going to be a nice snowman picture where students can try to match the picture I have there and see in real time if they're getting it correct or not. So I have listed here just the parts of the picture, so the nose, the mouth, the eyes, the hat, pom-pom, etc. And on the right side, they would just type in the equation of that part, and it will pop up for them in real time as they type it in solid. So it's dotted line on the background of the picture, and then as they complete the picture, it will be a solid line, and then they can obviously still use those domain restrictions to match the picture correctly. The last part of the activity, I've actually left two slides, and you can kind of just delete the one you don't want. You can just let them have some free play and try to create a picture. Or you can kind of enhance that a little bit with the class challenge. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a blank graph right here that students will click, and then they will create their own class challenge and submit it. And once they've done that, other students can see it over here in the class gallery. And what students can then do is click on each other's graphs and try to duplicate them like they did with my snowman graph. So I would look at, okay, this is person number one's picture that they created, kind of like a little Rudolph looking thing. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to try to type in the equations to match it. So the equations won't show up in here, so that's like part of the challenge, right? So they're going to type in the equations and see if they can duplicate this picture to the best of their ability, and then they'll just click submit right there. I think that's everything from the student side. And then if you've never done a Desmos activity before, you can do this without having it sync to your class roster by just using the code option. Or you can import your Google Classroom roster, and it will automatically sync, and you can just send the students a link in Google Classroom. So from there, you can actually see a summary of students' work. So you can see what slide they're on, which ones they've completed. So like these grayed out ones, students haven't been to yet. The blue ones right here are the ones they're on at that moment. And check marks mean they've done something. So here they've actually finished their submission, and even this person on the top, there's a little check mark. That means they've done someone else's graph as well and submitted it. There's also the teacher view where you can check mark these and take the snapshot to present later. So that's in snapshots once you're done with that. And then you can also send mass feedback in here to students as they work. And this will show up live as they're working. I think that's everything. Let me know if you guys have questions. There's also teacher directions in here and some tips and tricks to help you along. And hopefully this is a really nice low prep activity for you that you really love.